Hello and welcome to the Kingdom YouTube channel. Some of you may have come to this video for learning about D&D from a television show, a movie, maybe you played a previous edition and want to get back into the game, or most likely you saw the D&D night event and wanted to learn more. To make it easier and so that everyone is on the same page, we're going to start from the very beginning. What is Dungeons & Dragons? Dungeons & Dragons, or D&D for short, is a tabletop role-playing game where you use a set of rules and dice and your own imagination to create an adventure in another world. Originally created by Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax in 1974, since its original creation there have been multiple subsequent editions, with the most recent one being the 5th edition. The 5th edition is also the edition we use for D&D night in the Kingdom Discord server. Usually set in a fantasy world, the players play as characters of various races, backgrounds, and classes. You can be a druidic rock gnome, a sneaky elven rogue, a noble barbarian dwarf, or any number of available combinations. Your goal during your game can be as simple as slaying an evil dragon, finding a magical artifact in a faraway land, or negotiating peace between two warring kingdoms. Along the way to achieving your final goal, there will be many challenges you'll need to overcome. To set these challenges, referee the game, and to keep everything in a coherent narrative, someone needs to take on the role of Dungeon Master. The Dungeon Master, or DM for short, is not a player. They are a storyteller, the one who creates the world and story that moves with the players. Besides creating the world, they also control the monsters and other characters you may come across during your adventure, also known as NPCs, which stands for non-playable characters. The DM may use an adventure module, which is a pre-written adventure, or create an adventure themselves. Either way, they are tasked to adjudicate the rules fairly and entertain the players with an engaging world. The players control their player characters, or PCs for short, the details of which are recorded in a thing called a character sheet. While the player's choice of race and background provide various bonuses to the character's stats, their class is what distinguishes their gameplay experience. Whether you are a elven or dwarven wizard of any background, you still cast spells. Likewise, a human fighter and a rock gnome fighter are both masters of martial weaponry. Basically, your class determines how you play, while your race and background give you bonuses on top of your class. During the game, there are 3 broad categories your characters may be involved in: social interaction, exploration, and combat. For example, accepting a quest from a castle guard to defeat a neighboring group of goblins is a form of social interaction. So is persuading the guard to give you more details or forcing him to lend you his equipment. Anything that doesn't involve talking or fighting is exploration. For example, exploring an enchanted forest to rescue a damsel in distress during which you jump over a massive sinkhole is a form of exploration. And combat is self-explanatory. Things like persuading the guard and jumping over a massive sinkhole are challenges you'll need to overcome. To successfully complete a challenge, the DM will ask you to roll a d20 and add the relevant skill bonus, or penalty, your character has. Your score will then be compared against the challenge's difficulty class. To succeed, you need to match or score higher than the target number. The difficulty class of challenges can be made public or kept hidden by the DM for a more dramatic purpose. Similarly, in combat, you also roll a d20 in order to attack, with the difficulty class being the enemy's armor class. If your roll, with the addition of your bonus, matches or is higher than their armor class, then you get to damage them. The damage you deal is based on the weapon you use and whatever applicable modifier you have. If, for example, you are a fighter who wields a longsword and has a bonus of +3, you get to roll a d8 and whatever your roll gets the additional bonus of the +3. When you face a challenge, it might not be so uniformly structured. An act of persuasion may lead to a fight, and a fight may lead to an act of persuasion. As your character triumphs over these challenges and completes quests, they are rewarded with experience points. Once their experience points reach a certain threshold, they level up, gaining new features and becoming more powerful. A similar system can be found in most video games. A session of D&D can last as long as you want, but to keep it from getting too groggy for players, we recommend 3 to 4 hours of play for beginners. 3 to 4 hours may sound like a long time to some, but once you start to get into the game and become invested in the world and its inhabitants, time flies by. An overarching story, made up of multiple of these sessions, is called a campaign. If you think of a session as an episode of a TV series, then a campaign is like a season. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful in getting into a game of Dungeons & Dragons. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, click subscribe and make sure to follow us on Twitter @kingdom_official to stay up to date.